Alright, question 101 says find the equation of the line which passes through the point -1, 2 and has gradient -3, 4. So we have to find the equation of the line which passes through points. So we call this x1, y1. So it's always x before y, so -1 for x1 and 2 for y1. Has gradient of -3/4, so m is -3/4. But you know the general standard of equation of a straight line is what? Is y equals to m into bracket x minus x1 plus y1. So with this, we're just using our value y equals to -3/4 because that is m, x minus x1 minus 1 plus y1, which is 2. So here we simply simplify the remaining. This is going to be x plus 1 plus 2. And we use this -3/4 to open out. So we have y equals -3x/4 minus 3/4 plus 2. And in this case, we multiply through what? By the LCM. So the LCM here is 4. So I multiply every time by 4. So I'm going to be left with 4y here. Here, it should just become what? -3x minus 3 plus 8. No, I have to multiply this by 4. It cancels this 4 down. I multiply this 2 by 4 also. It cancels the 4 out. And what are we left with? 4y equals to -3x plus 5. And if I bring -3x to this side, it becomes 4y plus 3x equals to 5. And if you look at this, the correct option is option A. Next question. All right. Question 102. It says a shop reduced prices on items by 12%. Amina bought a computer for 3,432 Ghanaian cedis from this shop. What was the original price of the computer? So we just look at somebody has bought a computer at this rate. Don't forget that the shop has allowed a kind of reduction in price, or you call it allowance of 12%. So we get that if Amina had to buy it originally, how much would it cost Amina? So let's the original price be X Ghanaian cedis. So this means that since Amina got it at 12% discount, then we say 0.88 of X is what Amina got it for, and that was what? 3,432 Ghanaian cedis. And you might wonder, how do I get my 0.88x? Okay, so I prefer to work my percentage instead of 100. I prefer to bring up my percentage to what? To 1. Meaning 100% is 1 and 0% is 0. 10% will be what? 0.1, 20% 0.2, 30% 0.3, 50% 0.5, 80% 0.8, and so on. So when there is a reduction in percentage, I remove it from 1. When it's an addition to a percentage, I increase it by 1. So it was 12%. If you bring it to this my method, it's going to be what? 0.12. So since it is a reduction, because the question says reduced, so I'm bringing 0.12 from 1, and that is going to be what? 0.88. 0.88 times the original price is what this lady got it for, and that was 3,432. So the simple analogy is that what you're going to have 3432 divided by 0.88 as your answer, and that's pretty much faster compared to the conventional way you might know how to go about it. 3432 divided by 0.88, and this is what 3900, that's to what do we call it, to nearest Ghanaian city. So your answer will be 3 Ghanaian cities, GH cities, and that is what 3900 Ghanaian cities. So the correct option is option A. Next question, please. All right, question 103. Given that sign B is 6/7, where 0 degrees less or equals to beta, and beta is less or equals to 90 degrees. So we have to find tan beta. So we say it's just like a right angle triangle. That's what they are trying to tell us, because beta is an acute angle, and we have beta, for instance, here. Don't forget what is sine, opposite over hypotenuse. So it is opposite, which is 6, over hypotenuse, which is 7. So literally it's telling you that it's a right angle triangle with 6 as the opposite and what 7 as the hypotenuse. And before we continue, we have to look for the adjacent. Don't forget, by Pythagoras theorem, let's call adjacent A. A squared with what? Hypotenuse squared minus what? Opposite squared, 6 squared. And this is what? 49 minus 36. And this is simply what? 13. So my A squared is 13, and then A becomes what? Square root of 13. So A is square root of 13. The next question says, find 10B. What is 10B? So I quickly replace this A as what? Square root of 13. So what is tan? Tan beta is TOA, opposite over adjacent. That's 6 over root 13. Say tan beta equals 6 over root 13. However, you do not see any option that looks like that, so we have to go ahead into rationalizing the surd. So by rationalization, we say multiply by root 13 all over root 13. I'm not doing anything because root 13 will still cancel root 13 to give you 1. And any number multiplied by 1 is still what? That number. So I simply do that 6 root 13 all over root 13 multiplied by root 13 is what? Is simply 13. So the answer is 6 root 13 over 13. That is correct option is what? A. Our next question. 104. If 25 x, that is base x, base x is equal to 32 base 5. So 25 base x, 25 base x equals to 32 base 5. So we have to find the value of x. How do we do this? We bring both to what? Base 10. And don't forget how to go into base 10. Start from the right hand side, 0, 1. Also here, 0, 1. And what do we do? 2 multiplied by x raised to the power 1 plus 5 multiplied by x raised to the power 0 must be equals to what? 3 multiplied by 5 raised to the power 1 plus 2 multiplied by what? 5 raised to the power 0. And what do we do? We have 2x here. X raised to the power 0 is 1. So multiplied by 5 is 5. Equals to 3 times 5, 15. Plus 2 times 1 is what? Is 2. So 2x plus 5 equals to what? 17. 2x equals to 17. We bring minus and plus 5 there to become what? Minus 5. And we have what? 2x equals to 12. And dividing both sides by 2, what do we have? We have x equals to 6. This our base number is what? 6, which is option C for 104. Our next question. Alright, it says simplify x plus 15. So we have to simplify x plus 15 all over x squared minus 16 divided by x squared minus 225 all over x squared plus 4x. And this is how to go about it. So I write x plus 15 all by x squared minus 16 divided by x squared minus 225 all by x squared plus 4x. So when you see things like this, don't be scared because it's just an algebraic expression. And let's see how to do justice to that. I go x plus 15 all over, what is x squared minus 16? In one of our previous questions, I told you when you have a perfect square minus another perfect square, you think of what? Difference of 2 square. It means that what? It will be x minus 4, then x plus 4. That is just it. Then this division will turn to multiplication. Then you reverse the what? The order of the fraction. It means that up here will be what? X squared plus 4x. However, I will not really put that because x can be factorized out of that expression. So I simply don't need to wait until later. So I simply say x into bracket x plus 4. If you still remember, this expression here, x squared plus 4x, is just exactly the same as this, only that I've done what? I have factorized this. And when you look at this one, it is also what? A difference of what? 2 squared. And it means I'm going to write what? X minus 20. For 225, it is what? It is 15, because 15 squared, you can verify 15 squared is 225. So it will be 15, x minus 15, x plus 15. See difference of 2 squared. So at this juncture, everything is fine. X plus 15 can cancel this x plus 15. X plus 4 can cancel this x plus 4. What are we left with at the numerator level? It is simply what? X. What are we left with at the denominator level? It is what? X minus 4 and x minus 15. And that's, we just go to the options to choose which one just correspond with what we have. And I believe that is what? Option A. X over x minus 4, x plus minus 15. So option A is the correct option for 105. Our next question. Alright, the point P and Q are 40 meter north and 20 meter east of R respectively. Calculate correct to 1 decimal place. PQ, and it looks like bearing, but this is not bearing, is more of what? Trigonometry. So when you see your question, don't forget you need to get where is this question coming from. That's the first thing. Getting the topic is coming from will give you a better insight into solving it explicitly. So let's see how it works. We're told that P and Q are 40 meter north, and so we just bring out our cardinal points. This is our north, don't forget, our east, don't forget, our south, and our what? West. So there is a point that is what? That is R. So let's say R is just at the middle of the cardinal. So point P is 40 meter north. So this is point P, and distance between P and R is what? 40 meter. And point Q is what? Is 20 meter east. This is east, and we put Q here, and the distance between R and Q is what? 20 meter. And the question is asking for what? PQ. That is a line that joins what? Point P and Q together. However, this should not pose a threat to you because we know this is what? A right angle triangle. And Pythagoras theorem will be very, very handy, highly invaluable for us to get our solution. This is simply what? PQ, which is what? Our hypotenuse. Don't forget, we can say PQ all squared equals to what? RQ all squared plus what? RP all squared. So with this, we have PQ all squared is going to be what? 20 squared plus 40 squared. What is 20 squared? That is 400 plus what is 40 squared? 1600. 400 plus 1600 is what? Is 2000. So this is my PQ all squared is what? 2000. And what is square root of 2000? That would be our PQ will be equal to square root of 2000. And if you press your calculator, square root of 2000, that is 44.7. 44.7, that is option A. 44.7 meter rather. So that is option A. So option A is the correct option. Our next question. Alright, 107. The angle of sector of the circle of radius 5.5 centimeter is 60 degrees. Find the area of the sector. So we quickly draw the sector and put the values given to us and assign them. So we have the sector of a circle. So let's draw a circle, and let's say this is the center, and there from the center we have two radii at angle 60 degrees. Don't forget, a sector is from two radii, so the area we are looking for, but don't forget the radius is what? 5.5 centimeter. How do we find the area of the sector? The formula is this: area of sector equals your angle given, that is theta, over 360 times pi r squared. And with that, we can say we have it as 60 all over 360 times our pi. You say we should take it for what? 3.142 times 5.5 squared. And this is simply what? 1 over 6 times 3.142 times 5.5 squared, and we go to our calculator and solve the remaining. 3.142 times 5.5 squared, and we divide by 6, and this is what? 15.84. So the area is what? 15.84 centimeter squared, and the correct option is option B. Our next question. Given that x minus y is 1 and 4x minus 3 is 1, find the value of 2x minus y. So this simultaneous equation, and we do that either by substitution method or elimination method. So we have that, given that x minus 1 minus y equals to 1 and 4x minus 3y still equals to 1. So we call this equation 1, equation 2, and we can solve 1 and 2 simultaneously. From equation 1 we make what? We say from equation 1 we have x equals to what? 1 plus y. Let's call this equation 3. That's the one we got for equation 1. We substitute equation 3 into 2. Mind you, we cannot put it into 1 again because what? We got equation 3 from equation 1. So let's do that. So instead of writing x, I write 1 plus y minus 3y equals 1. And this, I open the brackets, 4 plus 4y minus 3y equals 1. and this simply y equals 1 minus 4, and this minus 3. So our y is what? Minus 3. Then let's find our x. What will our x be? From equation 3 we say x is what? 1 plus y. It implies that what? Our x is 1 plus minus 3, and that is 1 minus 3, which is what? Minus 2. So let's now find our what? 2x minus y. 2x minus y means what? 2 into brackets x is minus 2 minus y minus, what was our y? Minus 3. So it's simply what? Minus 4 plus 3, and the answer here is minus 1. So the correct option is what? Option B. Next question. The interior angles of the pentagon are 3x degrees, 4x degrees, x over 2 degrees, x over 3 degrees, and 5x degrees. Find correct to the nearest degree the size of the smallest angle. And we ask ourselves, what is a pentagon? A pentagon is a 5-sided regular polygon. And for any regular polygon, we have that n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees, 180 degrees is equals to the sum of the interior angles. So for a pentagon, n is 5. For a what? Pentagon. And as such, 5 minus 2 into 180 degrees equals to 3 times 180 degrees. And this is what? 540 degrees. So the sum of all of the angles is going to be what? 540 degrees. So we need to find x in the first place. So to find x, we add all the given values given to us. It is 3x plus 4x plus x over 2 plus x over 3 plus 5x all in degrees is same thing as what? 540 degrees. And this 3x plus 4x, 3x plus 4x plus this half means 0.5 x plus this one is 0.33 x plus 5x equals 540 degrees. 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 0.5 is 12.5 plus 0.33 is what? 12.83 x equals 540 degrees, and x is what? X is 540 divided by 12.83, and that is what? 42.09 degrees. So the smallest of them is going to be what? The one that carries x over 3. So smallest angle is going to be what? 42.09 all divided by 3. And if you do this very well, is approximately going to be what? 14 degrees. Because the question says what? To the nearest degree. So it is 14 degrees. So the correct option is what? Option D. Next question. Question 110 says, calculate the area in centimeter square of an equilateral triangle of what? Side 6 centimeters. So we have an equilateral triangle. I want to find the area. Don't forget what an equilateral triangle is. It's a triangle that has all its angles, at the same time all its sides equal. So it's a special type of triangle that has all the sides equal as well as all the angles. And we have to draw it out to make it simple. Let's draw it out. And let's have something like this. Oh, excuse me. and so let's have, okay, so we just put these three lines to show that what it is an equilateral triangle. It is 6, don't forget this, 60, 60 and 60 degrees, or and it is 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter. We try to get the height. And don't forget one property of an equilateral triangle: a bisector of the angle is a bisector of the line. So if bisector has bisected this angle into 30 degrees, so I bring half of it out. So this angle 30 degrees, this side 6 centimeter, and it will bisect this side up to 3 centimeter. So I just literally need to find this height, and to find this height I use what? Tan. So don't forget tan, 30 degrees, let's call this h, equals to opposite over adjacent, as 3 over h. And don't forget what is tan 30 degrees. It is simply what? It is simply root 3. And yes, tan 30 degrees is root 2 is 1 over root 3 rather. So 1 over root 3 equals 3 over h. So it means my h is what? 3 root 3. That's my height. And I can come down into what? Into finding area. Area of any triangle is half base times height. So I will write it as half. What is the base? 6 centimeter times height. What is my height? 3 root 3. 2 will cancel this to become what? To become 3. 3 times 3 is what? 9. So my final answer will be what? 9 root 3 centimeter squared. And the correct option there is what? Is option A. Our next question. Alright, our next question says 3 men P, Q, and R can finish a job in 18, 19, and 12 days respectively. If they work together, how many days will it take to finish the same job? This is a kind of problem that has to do with proportion and rates. So it's a topic from rates, and it's a question from rates and proportion. Here we have P can finish a job. So P can finish a job in how many days? 18 days. Q can finish the same job in 9 days. And R is going to finish it in 12 days. So the three of them just want to work together and want to see how long it will take them. So there is a simple formula, a very simple one, when you are dealing with a problem in this way. So the problem has to just take, if the three of them have to work together, then you take the what? The reverse, the inverse of the individual work day, add it together, it will give you what the result should be. So I will say for the three of them, the three of them working together, then let's see how many days it will take them. Then it will take them 1 over the rate of P plus 1 over the rate of Q plus 1 over the rate of what? R. We give you the total day T for total. It will take them to complete it. It's just a very simple way of solving this kind of problem. You take the reverse of their days of working, add it together. Whatever your answer is, the denominator will give you the day to take them to finish the total of the work. So let me call it total days. So then let's go. 1 over 18 plus 1 over 9 plus 1 over 12. let's see what it will be. The SCM is going to look like what? So SCM of 18, 19, and 18, 9, and 12. So I will just simply let me use 648. Let me use 648 as the SCM. Then let's see 648 divided by 18. 648 by 18. This 36 here times 1 is 36 plus 648 divided by 9. 72 here plus 648 divided by 12. And the answer here is 54. So I simply add everything up there. Plus 72 plus 36. So it should be what? Equals to 162 divided by 648. And 648 divided by 162 is simply going to be equals to what? 1/4. So it means it will take the three of them 4 days to just complete the work. As simple. So the answer there is going to be what? A, which is 4 days for PQ and R to finish the same job when they work together. Alright, our next question is question 112. The perimeter of a square is numerically equal to half of the area. Find the length of each side. So we have a square, and the perimeter of this square is just numerically equals to half of its area. So let's do justice to that. And don't forget, for a square, area of a square is simply what? The length squared. That's length times length. And the perimeter of the same square, perimeter means distance around, is what? L plus L plus L plus L. Or you simply say what? 4L. And if the perimeter is numerically equal to half of the area, it means that what? 4L equals to what? S squared divided by 2. That's what the statement says. And we can just cross multiply. It means that what? 8L equals to what? L squared. And then you can see at this level, you can say what? Divide both sides by L, and you have what? 8 equals to L. And that is what? The length of one of its sides. So one of its sides is simply what? 8 units. As simple as that. So the correct option there is going to be what? D for question 112. And next question. Alright, the next question is question 113. The businesswoman allows 2.5% discount for cash payments. How much discount did she allow for a cash payment on an article that cost $1,216? So let's see how that works. So it's very, very close to one discount problem we just solved. And let's say she allows a discount of what? 2.5%. And somebody, an article for a cash payment on an article that costs. So if an article cost price is what? Some dollars, and that is $1,216.00. And 2.5% of it is what we just looking at. So discount is equals to 2.5 over 100 multiplied by 1216. So whatever the amount of this is going to be 1216 times 2.5 divided by 100, and this simply what equals to 30.4 US dollars. So our correct option is what? Option A. So we have question 114, and it says given that 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 is 1 over 27, find the value of x. So 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 equals to 1 over 27. So this is an indices problem. So we know for us to do this, we have to make sure we have a very similar base, and there is 9, there is 27. So the only way is to think of 3. So 3 raised to power 2 is 9. So I write that, and I write 2x minus 1 equals 1 over 3 raised to power 3, because 3 raised to power 3 is what? Is 27. And this is simply what? 3 raised to power 4x minus 2, I'm just opening this bracket, equals to what? 3 raised to power minus 3. Since we have the same basis now, I just do what? Equate the power. So equating the power, what do I have? I have 4x minus 2 equals minus 3. I move this here, 4x equals to minus 3 plus 2. 4x equals minus 1, and dividing both sides by 4, what are we left with? X equals minus 1 over 4, and the correct answer there is option B. Our next question says simplify k square minus 9r square all over k square minus 4kr plus 3r squared, and this is simply on algebra. So simplification of an algebraic expression is one of the tricky but somehow simple problems you can meet in mathematics. Very simple, it only can be tricky. So let's write out the problem, and it says k squared minus 9r squared all by k squared minus 4kr plus 3r squared. And we're good to go. We look at this. This is simply going to look like our what? Difference of 2 square. So we simply look at 9 is equal to square, because we can have it as 3 square. So I will write it as k squared minus 3r all squared, because 3 squared is 9, r squared gets back to what? R squared, all divided by, I'm left with factorizing this. So I need to factorize this, and one easy way is setting up your factorization method of solving quadratic equation. I simply bring this and multiply them together. This simply is going to give you what? Plus 3k squared r squared. When you look for 2 factors of 3k squared r squared, which when multiplied together gives me 3k squared r squared. But when I add them together, it's going to give me the middle term minus 4kr. And at a glance, it comes to you that it's going to be what? It's going to be minus 3kr minus kr. So if you multiply the two of them, it's going to give you what? 3k squared r squared. But when you add them together, it's going to give you what? Minus 4kr. So I replace that down here. So this is going to be k squared minus 3kr minus kr, then plus what? 3r squared. And when I do this, I just bring the first two, the last two, and put them in brackets. Here, you should not forget, I still have some little job to finish up at the numerator level. And what is that? My difference of 2 squared. That is going to be what? K minus 3r, k plus 3r for the numerator, all over what is common here. It is what? K. And what is left? K minus 3r. What is common here? It is simply what? R minus r. It is simply what? K minus what? 3r. And don't forget how we solve our quadratic equation. We bring these two outside brackets together and one of the bracket down. And we are going to finish up just k minus 3r and k plus 3r all divided by k minus r together, and what? k minus 3r together. And we can see at a glance k minus 3r just goes for this, and we are left with what? K plus 3r all over k minus r, and that is going to be what? Option C. So the correct option is what? Option C for 115. Our next question. Given that 4 times 6 is equals to k in modulo 7, find the value of k. And this is modular arithmetics, one of the simplest topics in mathematics as far as O level is concerned. So apparently should have gotten your answer by now, but let's see the justice to that. So 4 times 6 is what? It is 24. So we bring in 24 to a number in modulo 7. What does it mean? Modulo 7 means we don't want to have a number that is more than, that is even up to 7. So 7 in modulo 7, you think it is 1? No, it is actually 0. Because in this case, we keep removing 7 from the 24 until we have something that is less than 7 left. So we keep asking ourselves, if we remove 7 from 24, the first place, we remove 7 from 24, it remains what? Just 17. We remove 7 again, it remains what? Just 10. We remove 7 again, it remains just what? Just 3. So our answer is just what? 3 in what? Modulo 7. As simple as that. So the correct option is option C. And we go to the next question. Alright, in the diagram, KP is 8 centimeter, MP is 2 centimeter, KM is equals to 10 centimeter. Calculate the area of the triangle MKN. So I will do well by bringing out the diagram again for simplicity, and I'll just redraw the diagram. It's a right angle triangle, and we have something like this. So it is K here, it is right angle here, it is P here, it is 8 centimeter here, it is N here, it is M here, and 10 centimeter here, it is 2 centimeter here. So we need to find the area of MKN. That is this area I'm trying to shade off now. But to do this, we have 2 ways of doing it. You can do it directly looking for MKN, or it's better, why not just look for MKP, then remove NKP from it, then you have your MKN. I repeat, you find the area of the total triangle, which is MKP, and you remove the area of the triangle NKP from it. So let's go that way. That way it will be very much simpler. So if you have to look for the area of NKP, what happens? We find the base, because we don't have the base. But don't forget, it is going to be what? Half base times height. So to find the base, we use what? Pythagoras theorem one more time. So we say MP squared equals what? Hypotenuse squared, MK squared, minus what? Adjacent square, which is KP square, or opposite square, which way you call it. So here it is going to be 10 squared minus what? 8 squared. This is 100 minus 64, and this is 36. So my MP is square root of 36, which is simply what? 6 centimeter. So 6 centimeter for MP, but we have NP given to us as 2 centimeter. I ask you a question, what will be MN? Apparently you should know that what? MN is going to be what? Is going to be 4 centimeter, because 4 centimeter plus 2 centimeter will give me my what? 6 centimeter for what? For NP. That's the first step. Having done this, the next thing we do is to look for the area of the whole triangle. So area of triangle MKP is simply what? Half of the base. What is the base? That is the 6 we just got, times the height, times the 8. and this simply what 3 times 8, which is 24 centimeter squared. That's the area of the total triangle. However, we still need to find the area of what triangle NKP, which is what area of triangle NKP is simply what also have base times height. What is the base this time around? 2 times height, which is 8. These two cancel these two, and our answer is simply what 8 centimeter squared. So to find the value of what MKN, the triangle MKN will be what triangle MKN is what area of triangle MKP minus area of triangle what NKP. That is simply what 24 minus 8 or centimeter squared, and the final answer is simply what is simply 16 centimeter squared, and that is the correct option is what option D. Our next question. Alright, listen to Ekpe's expenditure on food, transportation and rent are in ratio 5:8 respectively. If the expenditure on rent is 640,000 leon, find the expenditure on food. Leon is just the current currency of Sierra Leone, and let's see how that will solve it. So it's a ratio problem, and it has to be taken as one, and it's very simple one at that. So while cleaning the board, I believe you are doing justice to that on your own side. So try to pause the video and see if you are going to be able to get this correctly. So let's see, is expenditures are in ratio food, F for food, T for transportation, and R for what? Rent. So it is going to be 5:8. And what is the total ratio? Total ratio will be the addition of all the ratios, and that is going to be what? That is going to be 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 5 is what? 15. So the that's on what? That's on if the expenditure on rent. So we'll be given on rent. Don't forget the ratio of rent is what? 8 all over the total ratio, which is 15, times the total amount which you don't even know. So we call it X. That is the total amount. Is what? 40,000. So with this, we can get the total amount he has at hand, and then we can go ahead to looking for the what? Expenditure on food. So with this, we have 8x equals to what? 640,000 times 15, and x will be what? 640,000 times 15 all divided by 8, and this is simply what? 640,000 times 15 all divided by 8, and this is what? 1.2 million leon. So leon, or let me write it here. So his total money is what? Leon 1,200,000. So this was the actual amount he had at hand. And let's look for his expenditure on food. For food, it is 5. So we just look 5 over the total ratio, which is what? 15 times what? 1,200,000. And this is simply 1/3 of the total amount. And the answer here is going to be what? It's going to be 400,000. So this is 400,000 leon. So that is the correct option is what? B. Question 119 is next. Alright, in the diagram SRQ, in the diagram angle SRQ is 35 degrees and angle SPQ is 25 degrees. Use this information to answer questions 119 and 120. Before then, let me quickly draw the triangle out so we don't make reference to it by reversing the slide. So I preferably want to put it here for reference purpose. So this is circuit geometry problem, also known as what? Circuit theorem. So let's draw the diagram, and we have something like this, and something like this. We have something like this, and this goes up there, and we have C, S, R, and Q, P. So we're given this to be 25 degrees and 35 degrees, and we are looking for, let's go to the next question then. Question 119, what does it say? It says we should look for what? Angle RQT. Angle RQT. That is this angle here. That's what we are looking for. To solve this is simple. To find RQT, we need to ask ourselves, what is this angle? I mean, angle QTS is what angle? So angle QCS is same thing as what? Angle QPS. You know why? Because this is what we call what? Alternate segment theorem, or you call it what? Angle in same segment. So angle in same segments are always equal. That is the reason. It means that this, my QTS, which is already going to be what? 25 degrees. That's the first thing. Now that I've gotten QTS to be 25 degrees, that is still not all to do. What else do I need to do? I need to find some other angle, that is this angle S. I write angle PSR. Angle PSR, that is this angle here. I need to find it. But how do I find it? It's very simple, because its angle in a triangle is 180 degrees. So it will be, or let me say, plus angle 25 degrees plus your 35 degrees must give you what? 180 degrees. Angle in a triangle is always what? 180 degrees. So with this, I have my angle PSR with what? 180. This is going to be what? 60 minus 60 degrees, which is what? 120 degrees. I've gotten that. However, that's still not all, because what I'm actually looking for is this angle. But since I've known this angle and I know this angle, I know this angle is automatically going to be what? The same thing as what? My 120 degrees. In essence, I will say that angle what? Angle PSR is same thing as what? Angle RQC. Because of what? Because of angle in same segments. So I believe that is correct. Option is what? Option B. Our next question. Alright, the next question says angle PQT. Angle PQT, PQT. That is this angle here. So we are looking for this angle here, but that's not a problem. Since we have found out that the angle here is 120, since angle TQR, or you call it RQT is 120 degrees. Then say angle PQT is what? Don't forget, angle in straight line is 180. So it's going to be what? 180 degrees minus what? Angle RQT, which is simply what? 180 degrees minus 120 degrees, and this is simply going to be what? 60 degrees. And the correct option is what? Option A. Our next question. The shadow of a police officer 1.8 meter tall is 1.6 meter. What is the angle of elevation of the sun observed from the horizontal ground? So this elevation and depression problem, and shouldn't give a problem at all. So let's see how this is going to be solved. Alright, so we have that there is a policeman that is what? 1.8 meter tall. So let's represent this as the policeman, and it is what? He is 1.8 meter tall. That's his height. However, his shadow, if the sun is somewhere here, the cast his shadow to the front, meaning his shadow will be on the ground. This is the shadow, but this shadow is what? 1.6 meter. And don't forget, it means that the sun elevation has caused this to happen. So this is going to be the what? Angle of elevation of the what? Of the sun as observed on the ground level. So this is my theta of elevation. I just write theta, and simply the question is asking us for theta. Let me come again. I assume this is a policeman and there is a sun here. Sun, it is casting the shadow forward. So his own shadow is 1.6 meter, whereas his own height is what? 1.8 meters. So to get theta, which is the angle of elevation of the sun, we say tan theta equals to what? Opposite over adjacent. That is 1.8 over 1.6, and it means theta will be what? Tan inverse of 1.8 all by 1.6. So let's check that. Make sure your 1.8 divided by 1.6, that's 1.125. Then tan inverse of 1.125 is simply to press shift tan, and this is what? 48.4 degrees. That is the approximation, and that is option A. Next question. Alright, a number is selected at random from the set Q equals to 3 less or equals to y less or equals to 22. Find the probability that the number is multiple of 5. This probability, and let's see how this will be solved. So we have to bring out our sample space out. So let's get our sample space. The sample space Q is what? Start from 3. Don't forget, it is 3 less or equal. So we have to start from 3, 4, until we get to 22. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This is our what? Sample space. But it says what? A number is selected at random. Find probably that number is a multiple of 5. What are the multiple of 5? Let's encircle them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So only 4 numbers are multiple of what? Of 5. Out of how many space do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it means we have 20 sample space, and we only have 4 numbers that are multiple of what? Of 5. And this is going to be 4 over 5, and your answer will be what? 1 over 5. Brother, 4 over 20, and your answer will be what? 1 over 5. So the correct option here is what? Option A. Our next question. Alright, 123 is mensuration problem. And let's see, we're given a diagram, so I will draw the diagram out. So we have 4 meter here, we have 10 meter here, we have 4 meter here, and it is 10 meter here. So we are the diagram shows the dimensions of the floor of an L-shaped room. If the cost of carpeting the floor is $2 per square meter, find the total cost of carpeting the entire floor. So we need to find the area of what? Of the entire floor. Area. So what we simply do is we break it into 2. Let's just break that into 2, and we have area of the bigger shape and the area of the smaller shape. So the area of the floor will be, this one is automatically what? Is a rectangle, and that is what? Length times breadth, that is 4 times 10, plus this one will be what? Don't forget it is 4 here, then the left, it is the left with what? 6 meter here, plus 4 times 6, 4 times 6, all in what? Meter squared. And this is what? 40 plus 24, which is what? 64 meter squared. So the total square meter there is what? 64, and it is $2 per square meter. So we simply say 64 multiplied by what? By 2 to get our total cost of squaring or of covering or carpeting the whole floor. So cost of carpeting the floor or the room equals to what? 64 times what? 2 in dollars, and this is what? $128. So that is the correct option is option D. So question 125 says calculate correct to 2 decimal places the mean. So we have to look for the mean, and don't forget another name for mean is what? Average, and we always indicate it by X bar, which is what? This is an ungrouped data. As such, we use the formula for ungroup fx over summation f, or you just call it n. It's either you call it summation f or n, which is 2 number of the sample you have. So how do I get my summation f? X, I multiply my score with the frequency and I add them up together. So I start with the first one. 0 times 2 is what? 0, plus 1 times 3 is what? 3, plus 2 times 5 is what? Is 10, plus 3 times 6 is what? Is 18, plus 4 times 3 is what? 12, plus 5 times 1 is 5, plus 6 times 2, which is what? 12, all divided by what? The total sample space. So we keep adding. 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is 10, plus 6 plus 3, that is 19, plus 1, 20, 22 over 22. And if we add 3 plus 10 is 13, plus 18 is 31, 31 plus 12 is 43, 43 plus 5 is what? 48, and plus 12, that is 60. So we have 60 over 22, and if we press this on our calculator, we have 2.73 approximately into 2 decimal places. So the correct option there is option D. Our next question. So find the median. The median is the middle number, and here, don't forget, median means what? The number at the middle. Now we have the total number of our sample, which is an even number. So in that case, it's going to have a case what we call what? By median. So the median is going to be between 2 numbers. So let's see how it works. So this apparently how you do it is you break the number into 2. So the total frequency is 22. I break it into 2. I look at where is the 11th number going to fall. So let's see if I can start from either end. So if I start here, 2 plus 3 is what? Is 5. Plus this 5 is what? 10. So the 11th number is going to fall here. So I know that one. Here, let me start from this other end. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So since I have 6 here, the 11th number also falls here. So you don't have a problem. It's simply what? 3. Because apparently you can see say 3 plus 3 median. You can see say 3 plus 3 all over 2, which is still going to be what? 3. So the correct option there is D for the median. Next question. So our question 127 says, find correct to 2 decimal places the mean deviation. So mean deviation is also known as deviation from the mean, and it's simple. The formula is simply mean deviation is summation of f of x minus mean all over the total frequency, which is your f. So with this, we can have to create another column for this deviation, and that's going to be x minus mean, and let's see how that works. So we ask ourselves, what is our mean? We got our mean previously as 2.73. That's my x. So x bar is 2.73. So let's begin. We ask ourselves, 0 minus 2.73, it is still what? Minus 2.73. We multiply that by 2 to get that. So minus 2.73 multiplied by 2, it is minus 5.46. So what do? We simply, since it is an absolute value, so what do? We just write 5.46. So the next is 2.1 minus 2.73. We multiply it by 3 because we have 3 of them, times 3. This is 5.19. I'm taking off the negative because of the absolute value. Then 2 minus 2.73, that should be what? 0.73 multiplied by how many? 5 of them. That is what? That is simply 3.65. Next is 3 minus 2.73. That's 0.27. I multiply it by 6, and this is 1.62. Then 4 minus 2.73, that is 1.27. I multiply it by 3. What do I have? 3.81. Next is 5 minus 2.73, that is 2.27. Multiplied by 1 is 2.27. And what? 6 minus 2.73, and I multiply by 2, that is what? 6.54. What do? I add all this up. This with this added together, we're going to have what? 22.81 over what is the total frequency? It is 22. We've done that so far. And when you do this, you're going to have 1.17, and that will be the correct option. So the correct option is option B. So the next question. All right, we have a triangle. In the diagram, MTP is an equilateral triangle, MNT is an isosceles triangle, and MNT is what? 118 degrees. Find the value of NMP. So we're looking for angle NMP. So let's draw that out and see how we can figure that out. So we have an equilateral triangle. So we have an equilateral triangle, and inserted in it is a what? is an isosceles triangle. So there is an isosceles triangle which subtends an angle of what? 118 degrees. And this is N, this M, and this is T. So this side are all equal, and it is P here. So the question is asking us for what? NMP. NMP, that is this angle. So let's just call it X. But to find this is simple, because for every equilateral triangle, the angle is what? Of the individual angle is what? 60 degrees. So 60 degrees for all of these. However, this is a what? This is an isosceles triangle. So to get this base angle, since base angle of an isosceles triangle is equal, I simply subtract 118 from my 180, because total angle in the triangle is what? Is 180 degrees. So 180 minus 118 will give me the summation of the two other angles of the isosceles triangle. So that is simply what? 62. So I simply say NMT is equal to what? NCM. Why? Because what? Their base angle of isosceles triangle. That's the reason. And this means that what? 180 minus 118 divided by 2 will give me the solution to any of them. That is 62 divided by 2, and that is what? 31 degrees. Meaning either of these is 31 degrees. If this is 31 degrees, to find this, our NMP, it is simple. We simply subtract 31 degrees from 60 degrees, because we know the total angle of this place is what? 60 degrees. So we say NMP is simply what? PMC minus what? Minus NMT, which is what? 60 degrees minus 31 degrees. And this is simply what? 29 degrees. So the correct option is option B. Our next question. Question 129. A bag contains 15 red and 10 blue identical beads. If two beads are selected at random from the bag, one after the other, and replaced, calculate the probability of choosing a blue bead first and then a red bead. This probability, which you must be careful, because it has to follow the order of which bead is picked before the other one. So we have to be very careful in solving this. So we have the total red is what? 15 red. So R for red, 15. 10 blue, B for blue is 10. If two beads are selected at random from the bag, one after the other, and replaced, so it is a case of what? Replacement. It can also be a case of no replacement. So we have to be very, very careful while getting the information from the question. So we want to see that calculate the probability of choosing a blue bead first, then a red bead. So the probability of the first one being a blue bead, you put P subscript 1 to tell you the first choice. So it is what? The total of this is 25. So it is the number of blue, which is 10, all over the total number, which is what? 25. That is what? Simply 5 goes here, 2 all by what? By 6. Believe 5 rather. So that's 2 over 5 for that one. Then the second build has to be red. So you call it P2. 2 for the second choice. Don't forget you use subscript 1 for the first choice. So it's a case of replacement. Because it's a case of replacement, at every particular instance, your total number of what? Of beads still remain 25. If it's a case of no replacement, it would have remained 25. 4. So we are having going to be the second bit being what? Red. That is R is going to be number of red is what? 15 all over 25. And you say 3 goes here, that is 3. Or 5 goes here, 3, 5 goes here is 5. So that is 3 over 5. Now the next thing we look out for is what? The word and. That is a conjunction. It is whenever you hear and in probability, it means multiplication. If it is or, it means what? Addition. Since it is the first blue first and then a red, it means what? The probability of one being blue, and that's the intersection. The second being red is going to be what? Probability of the one first being blue multiplied by what? Probability of the second being what? Red. And with this, we're going to have 2 over 5 multiplied by what? 3 over 5. And the solution is going to be what? 6 over 25. And the correct option is what? Option B. Our next question. Alright, a ladder 13 meters long leans against a wall. If the distance between the foot of the ladder and the base of the wall is 5 meters, find the height of the wall. This is still what? Elevation and depression problem. So let's do justice to it. And so a ladder, I don't know, it is 30 meters long. So let's represent this line as a ladder, and this is the wall. So, and this is it. So the ladder is 30 meters. And if the distance between the foot of the ladder and the base of the wall, so the distance between here and here is what? 5 meters. So question says find the height of the ladder. So we're looking for this h. And you think of what? Pythagoras theorem. So to get h is simple. Don't forget hypotenuse square 13 square equals the opposite square h square plus adjacent square 5 squared. And this is going to be 169 equals to h square plus 25. And h square will be what? 169 minus 25. H square will be what? 140 what? 144. And as such, square root of 144 is what? Is 12. So the height of the ladder is what? Simply 12 meters. That's option C for question 130. Right, so our next question is question 131. And says in the diagram, O is the center of the circle, PQRS, and angle PQS is 56 degrees. Find angle SPR. And this circuit theorem problem. And then let's draw this out. We have the circle with some called PQ. So we have that it passes through the center O. So what does that tell us? This SR. It means SOQ is a what? Is a diameter as well as what? ROP is a diameter. So we're given this angle 56 degrees. And we have to look for SPR, this angle. So we know this is whenever there is a diameter passes through a circle, then it will give us what? A right angle. And we semicircle is a what? Is a right angle. So this is right angle, and as such, we can find what? We can find angle SQR. So we say SQR plus what? Plus SQP equals to what? 90 degrees. Because of what reason? Angle in a semicircle. So with this, I can get what? SQR equals to 90 degrees minus SQP, which is what? 56 degrees. And this will give me what? 34 degrees. So this, it means this angle is what? 34 degrees. And if that is it, don't forget this angle SPR is equal to what? Angle RQS or SQR. Why? SPR is angle SQR. Why? Because of what? Angle in same segments. So if you look at this angle here, same thing as this angle here, because they are in same segments. So, and as such, it really is what? 34 degrees. And that is what the question is actually asking for. So the correct option is what? Option C. Our next question. It says a cube of size 6 centimeter and a cuboid of length 8 centimeter and width 3 centimeter have the same volume. Find the height of the cuboid. So let's check this out. We have a cube. So what is the volume of a cube? The formula for volume of a cube is what? L raised to power 3 as L times L times L. If the cube has 6 centimeter, therefore the volume will be what? Volume of cube is what? 6 raised to power 3. And that is what? 36 times 6. That is 216 what? Centimeter cube. That's the volume of the what? Of the cube. What of cuboid? Volume of cuboid is what? LBH. That's length times breadth times what? Times height. Or you call length times width times height. But this LBH, according to the question, must be equal to the volume of the cube, which is 216 centimeter cube. So what is the length? The length is 8 centimeter and the width is what? 3 centimeters. That's 3 times 8 times the height must be equal to what? 216 centimeter cube. And it means height will be what? 216 all over 24. And when you do that, it becomes what? 9 centimeter. So the height of the cube is what? 9 centimeter. That is option C. Next. Alright, so 15x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. That's a quadratic equation. And then 15x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Don't forget, we can use our factorization method. We multiply this, and this is going to be what? Minus 30x squared. This minus 30x squared, what are the two factors of minus 30x squared? Which when multiplied together gives me minus 30x squared, but when added together, it will give you what? Just minus x. And you think of what? 5 and 6, because 5 times 6 is what? 30. So it has to be minus 6x and what? And plus 5x. Multiply these two together, you get this. Add them up, you have minus x. So I just substitute that instead of minus x. So I write 15x squared minus 6x plus 5x minus 2 equals 0. And what is common? The first two bracket, the last two. And what is common here? It is simply what? It is simply 3x. 3x goes in 15x squared, we are left with what? 5x. 3x goes here, it is simply what? Remaining 2. And what is common here? It is simply plus 1. What is left? 5x minus 2 equals to 0. Since the two brackets are the same, we bring the outside bracket together, 3x plus 1. Then one of the brackets, 5x minus 2 equals 0. If this multiplied by this is 0, one of them must be 0, or the two are 0. So I say 3x plus 1 equals 0, or 5x minus 2 equals 0. What does it mean? This means 3x equals to minus 1 and x equals minus 1 over 3, or 5x equals to 2, or x equals to 2 over 5. So our results are minus 1 over 3 or 2 over 5. So let's check which option has that. Minus 1 over 3 and 2 over 5. That is option D. So the correct option is what? Option D. And our next question. Question 134. A piece of iron bar is cut into 3 pieces in the ratio 5:3:2. If the length of the shortest piece is 14 centimeters, how long was the piece of iron bar? So we have this, and we have some piece of iron bar that is cut into ratio of 5:3:2. The length of the shortest, which is the shortest, is what? Is the one that carries ratio 2 over the total ratio, which is what? 5 plus 3 plus 2 times the total length of the bar, which we can call x, is giving you what? Is giving you 14 centimeters. So 2x all by 10 is 14 centimeters. And when you cross multiply, you have what? 2x equals 140 centimeters. Divided both sides by 2, you have what? X equals to 70 centimeters. That is the length which we are looking for, and that option is option C. Our next question. Given that sine 2x plus 1 degrees is 0.5 for 0 degrees less or equals to x less or equals to 90 degrees, find correct to the nearest degrees the value of x. So let's go. So we have that sine 2x plus 1 all in degrees equals 0.5 for 0 degrees less or equals to x less or equals to 90 degrees. What does it tell us? It tells us it is an acute angle, and it's most likely to be found in what? In a right angle triangle. And we know something, that sine one of the angles in a right angle triangle whose sine is going to be 0.5 is most importantly going to be what? 30 degrees. So apparently you just say take if sine 2x plus 1 degrees equals 0.5. To get all of this, you take sine inverse. So sine inverse of 0.5 will give me this angle 2x plus 1. So what does it mean? Sine inverse of 0.5 is what? 30 degrees equals to what? 2x plus 1. What do? I bring 1 here. That will be what? 29 degrees equals to 2x. Dividing both sides by 2, what do I have? I have 14.5 degrees. And since the question says to the nearest degrees, it means that my x is going to be assumed to be what? 15 degrees. So my correct option is option A, to the nearest degrees. Next question. Alright, question 26. Badu is n years old now, and Ansu is y years older than Badu. If x minus 5 years ago, Ansu was twice as old as Badu, express x in terms of y and n. And this is still another problem on what? On word problem. So let's see how we can do justice to this. So Badu is M years old now, and Ansu is Y years older than Badu. So Ansu will be what? Y years older than Badu, meaning his age is M plus what? M plus Y. Hopefully that is fine, because Badu is M years, which is M, but Ansu is Y years older than Badu. So that is why it has to be what? M plus Y. Next, if X minus 5 years ago, it was some years ago. So don't forget, this is Ansu's current age, and Badu's current age is what? Is M. So some X minus 5 years ago, it means that you now say M plus Y minus, you are going back in time, minus open bracket X minus 5 years ago. What happens? Ansu was twice as old as Badu, meaning that what is same thing as this was Ansu's age 5 years ago. It is twice as old as Badu. What was Badu's age 5 years ago? It is M minus X minus 5, then multiply by 2. We're going to take both of them back in time. How old back in time? X minus 5 years back in time. Back in time, you always subtract. Ahead of time, you always add. That's why I'm subtracting X minus 5 years ago from Badu's age, as well as that of what? Ansu's age. And when we express this, we're going to get answer to this. So M plus Y minus X plus 5 equals 2M minus 2X plus 10. I believe that's not a problem. Just opening the brackets, everything is fine. So with this, I have to express what? Express X in terms of Y. So I make X to be one side and the other to be in other side. So minus X, I'm bringing 2X here, plus 2X must be equal to 2M plus 10. That's all that is left here. Then I bring every other thing here down. Minus M minus Y minus 5. So with this, I have 2M minus M is simply M minus Y. 10 minus 5 is what? Is 5 plus 5. And this is equal to minus X plus 2X is simply what? X. And let's look at an option that has what? X equals to M minus Y plus 5. X equals to M minus Y plus 5. That is option C. The correct option is option C. Next question. Alright, the interior angles of a triangle are X plus 37 degrees, 2X plus 49 degrees, and 5X plus 58 degrees. Find the difference between the largest and the smallest angle. Alright, we need to find, the first thing we need to find is to find the value of X. Then we can now check which is largest, which is smallest of the angles. So let's find the value of X. One thing we know about triangle is that what? The total angle in a triangle is always equal to what? 180 degrees. So if we add up all the angles given, it should sum up to what? 180 degrees. So I write X plus 37 plus 2X plus 49 plus 5X plus 58 must be equal to what? 180 degrees. So this is just the ideology, and with that I can just collect terms. This is going to be X plus 2X plus 5X plus 37 plus 49 plus 58 equals what? 180 degrees. Let's add this up. This simply 8X plus 37 plus 49 is what? 86. 86 plus 58 is 86 plus 58 is 144 equals 180 degrees. So let's do that. 8x will be what? 36. And if you divide both sides by 8, you're going to have what? This is simply x equals to what? X equals to 4.5 degrees. So 36 divided by 8 is 4.5 degrees. That is my x. So don't forget, the question is not to find x, but to find the difference between the largest angle and the smallest angle. At a glance, if you look at this, we know the largest angle is going to be what? It's going to be 5x plus 58, and the smallest angle is going to be what? X plus 37. So smallest angle is x plus 37 degrees, which is what? 4.5 plus 37 degrees, and this simply what? This 41.5 degrees. Next is the largest angle. Largest angle is what? Is the one with 5x plus 58 all the degrees. So that is simply what? 5 multiplied by 4.5 plus 58, and this is simply what? This is simply 22.5, I believe. 4.5 times 5, yeah, 22.5 plus 58, and the total of this is going to be what? 80.5 degrees. So the difference between 80.5 and 41.5 is going to give my answer. So I simply say 80.5 minus 41.5. What is my answer? 80.5 so that should be 39. That should be 39, and this is simply what? 39 degrees. That is option A. Our next question. Alright, so in the diagram, MNT is a tangent to the circle at N. If angle PQN is 38 degrees, so that's most likely a typo, and it should be corrected to what? 38 degrees, never 380 degrees. And QNT is 66 degrees. Find P and Q. So let's draw that again. So we have a circle and we have a tangent. And we all know what tangent is. It's just a line that passes beside a circle, but it just touches the circumference of that circle. However, from this point of tangency, you have this. Yes, and we have this angle here, 66 degrees. We have this angle here, 38 degrees. And this is P, Q, and MNT, that's the tangent. And we are looking for what? Angle PNQ. Angle PNQ. That is angle PNQ. That's this angle we are looking for. Yes, PNQ. That is this angle. However, we need to find this angle. If you can get this angle, then this is simple. Don't forget your alternate segment theorem. It says angle in alternate segments is always the same. So this angle 66 will be given to this because of what? That alternate segment theorem. As well, if I'm to find this angle PNN, it would have been equal to 38 degrees because of also alternate segment theorem. And with this, I know angle in a triangle is what? Is 360. In a triangle is 180. So since angle in a triangle is 180, Then my angle PNQ will be what? 180 minus the remaining 2, 66 minus 38 degrees. And this is simply 180 degrees minus what? 104 degrees. And when you bring 104, 180 minus 104, you are left with what? We are left with 76 degrees. So the correct option there is what? Option C. So our next question is question 139, and it says, consider the statement: if one works hard, one must pass his or her examination. Which of the following is a valid conclusion from the statement? So John is hardworking and must pass his examination with distinction. No, that is not a valid conclusion, because it does not give us what, it does not define what pass is. Pass can be credit, can be B, can be A, can be anything. But we just need somebody to pass, and anybody that passes, we assume that person must have worked hard. So the word distinction has actually invalidated that statement. So let's see the second option. Isaac is not hardworking and must fail his examination. There is no, it did not say if you do not work hard, you're going to fail it. So it only says if you work hard, you must pass it. So it does not tell what happens the other way. The reverse is not the case. So it is not a by implication statement. We cannot use that. The next one says Emeka did not pass the examination, so he did not work hard. Yes, because we assume if somebody does not work hard, that person is not going to pass his examination. So this C is a valid conclusion. However, let's check that of D. Amma is hardworking and so her parents must like her. No, it has no connection with our reasoning. So the correct option is option C. Emeka did not pass his examination, so he did not work hard. That is the correct option. Next question. Alright, question 141. What values of y is 6y minus 1 all over y squared minus y minus 6 undefined? So let's see. When we say something is undefined, 6y minus 1 all by y squared minus y minus 6. If it's undefined, then the denominator of any fraction, once it becomes 0, it becomes what? Undefined. So we have to make the denominator to be what? Equals to 0 minus 6 equals to 0. That is the condition for this fraction to be what? Undefined. So let's solve this, and to solve this is not a problem. We just use our what? Our factorization method. So this is going to be y squared minus 3y plus 2y minus 6 equals 0, because minus 3y plus 2y is minus y. So we bring the first two and the last two and we put them in brackets. What is common here? Y. What is left? It is y minus 3. What is common here? Plus 2. What is left? Y minus 3 equals 0. And as such, what do we have? Y plus 2, y minus 3 equals 0. What is this? We bring y equals to minus 2 or 3. So the two things or two values that will give you this fraction to be undefined is what? Minus 2 and 3. So the correct option is what? Minus 2 and 3. That is option B. Our next question. Alright, round off 486.77 to the nearest whole number. So the nearest whole number means we just so we simply just do that, and it's not really something that is a big deal. And let's write the problem. That is 486.77. So the nearest whole number, we don't want to point again, so you run this last point to what? To 7. That's 487. As simple as that. And the correct option is option C. Next, given that x, number of x, given that number of x, that's cardinality of x, is what? 28. Cardinality of y is 40. And cardinality of x union y is what? Is 60. So find the what? Find the cardinality of x intersection y. N of x intersection y is what we are looking for. So let's just call this x or anything. However, don't forget our De Morgan's theorem. De Morgan's theorem says for two sets, x union y is what? Cardinality of x plus cardinality of y minus cardinality of x union y, and plus what? Cardinality of x intersection y prime. So here now we are looking for x intersection y, then plus cardinality of x intersection y prime. So since we are not told anything about x intersection y prime, we just assume that is not part of it, or we assume it is 0. What is x union y? It is what? 60 equals to number of x is what? 28 plus 40 minus what? Minus our x intersection y. So it should be x intersection y, that's plus n of x intersection y. And this is what? 60 equals to this 68 minus, so it's supposed to be minus n of x intersection y. And this is going to be what? N of x intersection y to be equal to 68 minus 60. And this is simply what? 8. So our answer there is what? Option D, which is what? Which is 8. Next question. Alright, simplify 3 roots of. Simplify 3 roots of. Simplify 3 roots of plus 10 roots 3 minus 9 over root 3. So what we do here, we simply make everything to look at the same, like root 3. I want to have all the expression to be what? Root 3. So what happens? I simply say what? 3 root 12 is what? 4 times 3 plus 10 root 3 minus what? 9 over root 3. So what do I do here? I simply rationalize this alone. Don't forget to rationalize. You bring the denominator and multiply it up and down. And as such, what happens? You say this root 4 is a perfect square, so root 4 is 2. So I bring it times 2 root 3 plus 10 root 3 minus, this is going to be what? Root 3 times root 3 is 3. So to be 9 root 3 all over 3. Because root 3 times root 3 is 3. 9 times root 3 is 9 root 3. And at a glance, we can see that this 3 can go in this 9 to give what? 3. So this is going to be 6 root 3 plus 10 root 3 minus 3 root 3. So since root 3 is common, I can bring root 3 out and say what is left here? 6 plus what? 10 minus 3. And what is it? 6 plus 10 is what? 16 minus 3 is 13. So your answer will be what? 13 root 3. And that is going to be what? Option C. Our next question. Alright, a boy spends 2/5 of his pocket money on food. So a boy spends 2/5 of his pocket money. So I don't know his pocket money. Let's the pocket money be x. So 2 over 5 of x on food, and 3 over 7 of the remainder of books. What is the remainder? The remainder is x minus 2x over 5. Don't forget, his original money was x. So when he spends 2 over 5 on food, we remove that money he spent on food from the total money he had to know what is left. So this is going to be what? LCM is still 5, and this is going to be simply 3 x over 5. That is what is left. But out of this 3 over 5 of his money that is left, he now spent 3 over 7 on books. So let's see how much he spent on books. Money spent on book is what? 3 over 7 of this remainder. So this remainder, let me write it there, is this times the remainder 3x over 5, and then this is simply what? 9x over 35. So that's the money he spent on what? That's the money he spent on books. What fraction of the money does he have left? So how much is he having left? So how much is he having left? So he has spent 3 over 7 of the total money left, which is 9x over 35 on what? On books. So you ask yourself, what is the total money left? Don't forget he had 3x over 5 before now. So money left will be what? This my 3x over 5 minus the amount he spent on what? On food, 9x over 35. And the LCM is 35. 5 in 35 is 7 times 3 is 21x minus 9x. And this simply what? 21x minus 9x is what? Is 12. So this is 12x all by 35. So he has 12 over 35 of his money left. That is what? Option D is the correct option. Our next question. Express 2 to 110 base 3 in denary. Denary means what? Base 10. That's, you can call it decimal or denary. So it is base 10 that is called denary. So let's move from ternary. Ternary is base 3. Let's move from ternary to denary. So let's go 2 to 110 in base 3. So don't forget our ways of doing it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put that on the top and we say it will be 2 times the base 3 raised to power what? 4 plus 2 times the base again 3 raised to power this time around 3 plus 1 times the base times 3 raised to power 2 plus 1 times 3 raised to power 1 plus, we just put 0 since it is 0. So anything number multiplied by 0 is 0. So what is 3 raised to power 4? That is simply what? That is simply 81. 2 times 81 plus 3 raised to power 7 is 27. 2 times 27 plus 3 raised to power 2 is 9. 1 times 9 plus 1 times 3. This 2 times 81, that is what? 162 plus 54 plus 9 plus 3. And if you do all of this, you're going to get what? 225. So the correct option is option D. Next. Simplify log 1024. Simplify log 1024 minus log 10 8 all divided by log 10 21 minus log 10 7. So this logarithm, and this shouldn't be something hard. We see, remember our law of logarithm. That's what? Log A B plus log A C is going to be what? Log A B C multiplied by themselves, and as well log X Y minus log X Z is going to be what? Log X into Y divided by what? Z. Apparently, every subtraction becomes what? Division. Every addition becomes what? Multiplication. And that is what we're going to do here. So our answer is going to look like log 10, 24 divided by 8. You know why I'm dividing? Because it is subtraction. Divided by log 10, 21 divided by 7. Still because it is what? A fraction here. And what is 24 divided by 8 is what? Log 10, 3 all over. Here is also what? Log 10, 3. And log 10, 3 divided by log 10, 3 is simply what? 1. So your result is what? 1.0, and that is option B. And next question. Find the simple interest on 110,000 naira for 2 years at 5% per annum. So this is a problem on simple interest, and so the principal, which is the amount that was borrowed, is what? 110,000 naira. The number of time or the year is 2, and rate is what? 5% per annum. And don't forget, simple interest formula is P times R times T all by what? 100. And we fix in this value. Let's see what happens. It's going to be 110,000 times rates, which is 5, times time, which is 2, all divided by 100. See these 2 0 cancel, and this is simply what? This is simply 10, and your answer is going to be, the simple interest is 1,100, and that is your simple interest. Hopefully, oh sorry, it has to be 11,000 rather, because this is 10 and to be 11,000 naira. So the simple interest is 11,000 naira, and the option is what? Is E. And next question. Alright, given the matrix M, so we have the matrix problem here, and given the matrix M, which is 6, 3, 3, 9, 12, 6, 6, 15, 9. Find 2 over 3M raised power T. Don't forget, the meaning of raised to power T means what? Transpose. It means what? The transpose our result. So 2 over 3 here is acting like a what? Like a scalar. A scalar is a multiplier that multiplies all the elements in a matrix. So let's go. We have the matrix 6, 3, 3, 9, 12, 6, 6, 15, and what? And 9. So what happens? Let's look for the what? The scalar first. So this is M. So 2 over 3 of M means that I should multiply every of the elements in this matrix M by 2 and divide it by what? 3. So I'm just going to do that. 6 multiplied by 2 over 3. 3 multiplied by 2 over 3. 3 multiplied by 2 over 3. Then 9 multiplied by 2 over 3. 12 multiplied by 2 over 3. 6 multiplied by 2 over 3. 6 multiplied by 2 over 3. 15 multiplied by 2 over 3. 9 multiplied by 2 over 3. And let's see what this result is going to look like. Obviously, 3 cancels this to become 2. 3 here, 3. 3 here, 2. 3 here, 5. 3 here, 3. 3 here, 2. 3 here, 1. 3 here, 1. 3 here, 4. And I think we are done with that. So let's multiply out the final answer. And we have what? 2 times 2, that is 4. Here it is simply 2. Here it is simply what? 2, and here it is simply 6, here it is simply 8, here it is simply what? 4, here it is simply what? 4, here it is simply what? 10, here it is simply what? 6, and this is my what? 2 over 3m. However, the question says I should transpose it. Transposition means what? I should change all the rows to what? To column, and as well all the columns to what? To row, and that's pretty much easier to do. So we say 2 over 3m transpose is simply as good. Like I start with the row and I start with the column. So the first row becomes the first column, the second row becomes the second column, and the third row becomes the third column. So it means, let me make that 4 2 2, and the next is what? Is 6 8 4, and last but not the least is what? 4 10 6. So this is my transpose of this. So let's look for the one that has that 4 6 4, yeah, 2 8 10, 2 4 6, and that is option B. So the correct option is option B. Next question. Alright, question 150. For what value of x is the expression y equals to 2x raised to power 2 has no derivative? We still remember what the derivative is all about. I believe you still remember. That is when you talk of your what? Differentiation. We want the value of x for which the expression cannot be differentiated. So in another way, we can say that the value of x for which this expression is non-differentiable. So let's write the expression y equals to 2x squared. So if it is not differentiable or it has no derivative, it means that what? Your dy dx is what? Is 0. That's the meaning. So we simply look for the y dx. Don't forget the y dx. What do? We multiply the power by this coefficient of x squared. So that will be 2 times 2, which is 4, and we reduce the power by 1, 2 minus 1. This is simply what? 4x. So if 4x is equal to 0, then this expression will not be what? Differentiable. So it has no derivative when it is 0, and as such, it means x equals to 0 over 4, which is still what? 0. So this correct answer there is what? Is x equals to 0.